Boy Swallow's universe is the story of Eli and the troubles his family faces while living in a region that's notorious for drugs and violence. Eli's mother, Frankie, used to be an addict and has been sober for years. Frankie has married Lyle Orlick, an erstwhile drug dealer. Eli also has a brother, Gus, who, for some reason, doesn't speak much. Everything was going well for Eli's family until Ivan and his men showed up at his doorstep and kidnapped Lyle. Things only went downhill after that. Frankie is arrested, and Slim dies because of a heart attack. Eventually, Frankie is released and now lives with Robert and her sons. However, Eli's story is still not over and continues in episode 7, Boy Meets End. How do things start to look up for Eli and family? Things finally start to look up for Eli and his family. Robert and Frankie have reconciled and put their differences aside. Robert is no longer a drunkard, and Bermuda has made sure that Carlos doesn't bother Frankie anymore. Robert even sells his lot of novels to a bookstore owner, and the latter also offers him a job to look after his shop 3 days a week. Even though Robert suffers from acrophobia, he reckons he can manage, given the bookstore is in Dara, a few blocks from his house. Eli also manages to snag a job at the newspaper agency by writing a nice piece on Alex Bermuda, informing how he plans to get his life on track now he's a free man. Alex wanted to be hired as a crime assistant reporter, but he happily settled for less. As for Gus, he and Shelley earn recognition for their efforts to raise money for disabled school children. They're selected as Queensland's champions and will receive an award from Titus Bras. Eli wants to receive Titus, but the editor refuses, advising him to cover other important stories. But why does Eli want to interview Titus Bras? Why are Caitlin and Eli investigating Titus Bras? Eli and Caitlin believe that Titus Bras is somehow connected to all the drug dealing in the town. Bras was in business with Bitch Dang, a big-time drug dealer. Moreover, Bras employs all kinds of ex-criminals and current criminals in his factory under the guise of giving them a better life. Plus, there is proof that Bras was transferring money to an offshore company's account owned by Ivan Kroll. What if Bras is using his prosthetics company and his philanthropic image as a smokescreen for something sinister? When asked, Mr. Leary, Bras's ex-employee, reveals to Caitlin and Eli that Bras is something that's much more dangerous than drugs. When Bras and Ivan learn about Eli's investigation, they start to take care of the loose ends. The first one to disappear is Tim Cotton, a detective. As for Eli, he's called to take a face-to-face interview with Titus Bras. What does Eli and Caitlin find in Bras's laboratory? During the interview, Bras subtly hints that if Eli continues to dig further, he'll end up just like her stepfather. However, Caitlin and Eli decide to sneak into his warehouse once everyone has left the building, not knowing that Ivan is on his way to kill them on Bras's orders. In the warehouse, Eli and Caitlin find a trap